believe everything you hear about pit bulls because of these 8 myths.
Pit bulls are often regarded as dangerous dogs who are fighting, ferocious, and aggressive. Are the stigmas true in any way? Are pit bulls ferociously bloodthirsty creatures, or are they merely stories? The debunking of 8 popular fallacies regarding pit bulls may be found below. In order to reduce the ongoing stigma associated with pit bulls, it is essential that people are aware of the facts regarding these dogs.
The lockjaw of pit bulls.
One of the most well-known misconceptions regarding the breed of pit bull is this one. The truth is that pit bulls do not, in fact, have a special jaw type or any other distinctive physical characteristic in their jaw structure, nor do they have a specific enzyme in their saliva that makes them, unintentionally, lock their jaws on something, like a person or an object or another animal. The majority of the physical traits of a pit bull and any other dog's skulls are similar, as can be seen if you hold one up next to the other. The size of the skulls and the breed of the second dog's skull may cause some physical characteristics to slightly vary. However, none of the variations in the skull structure will be a sign of a lockjaw mechanism. Considering that this myth is not founded on fact, how did it come to be? Pit bulls do, however, possess a personality feature shared by many dog breeds: determination and loyalty. Pit bulls make wonderful companions and stick by their owners through good times and bad. Pit bulls are devoted to their owners, even when they are mistreated and ignored. When people observed a pit bull clinging on tightly to an item, person, or animal, they began to believe in the lockjaw myth. The pit bull is motivated to stick around for a long time by their tenacity and loyalty. They are doing it voluntarily, and they could easily release their hold if their owner instructed them to. Pit bulls can often be so determined to maintain their hold that they refuse to release even when their owners order them to. This occurs frequently as a result of the pit bull perceiving the circumstance as especially dangerous. In such circumstances, the pit bull's impulse to defend its owners or themselves takes control, probably for a good reason.
Pit bulls are usually dangerous.
The dog species as a whole, not just the pit bull breed, is wronged by this particular misconception. Know of its breed or size, every dog needs to be assessed individually. It's like to suggesting that all poor people are lazy to merely state that pit bulls are aggressive animals. Based on a small number of people who meet the requirements, these stigmas are developed. Dogs as a species are frequently a product of their upbringing and surroundings. Any dog will behave in accordance with its training, social observations, and love if it is socialized, loved, included in the lives of its families, and socialized. A dog, regardless of breed, will act in this way if he has been taught to attack a person, an item, or another animal at whim, or if he has been taught that a specific circumstance should be considered a trigger for an attack. Even though each dog is unique in personality and temperament, most of a dog's behavior is a direct result of how he is raised or trained at home. The saying "there are no bad dogs, only terrible people" is actually quite common. This idea is commonly discussed by pit bull experts, who frequently connect the incorrect categorizing of these dogs to that of people's racial, religious, or gender identities.
3. Pit bulls can attack without provocation.
It is not common knowledge that dogs are an aggressive species toward humans. This is particularly true of pit bulls, who are among the most devoted, loyal, and amiable dog breeds in the world. It is occasionally possible to identify their loyalty and affection for their humans as a genetic flaw, since it is so deeply ingrained in their gene pool. Pit bulls as a breed have a propensity to love their owners so much that they would carry out instructions to hurt others even when it goes against their natural tendencies. All people, even strangers, are loved by them naturally. Because it frequently indicates that the dog is not a competent guard dog, their acceptance of strangers could also be considered a flaw. Pit bulls can tell a true threat from a fake one, though, and if their owner was clearly in danger, they would defend them. Dog aggression is a wholly distinct characteristic from human aggression. Some pit bulls might not get along as well with other dogs living in the house or in the neighborhood. This characteristic belongs to all dogs, regardless of breed. Simply put, some dogs prefer to be the only pet in the house, and dogs are inherently protective of their homes. Pit bulls may be aggressive against other dogs, however this is not always the case. It simply means that he will feel compelled to defend it if another dog presents a threat. People who are interested in dogfighting are drawn to pit bulls because they are a muscular, strong, and scary canine breed. These individuals are to blame for the perception that pit bulls are canines that are aggressive by nature. Pit bulls as a breed also tend to avoid conflict with other animals until they perceive the harm the animal poses. They might act like most dogs do and bark at or pursue a stray cat or a squirrel. They won't likely assault them, though, unless their owners specifically order them to.
4. Pit bulls increase the risk of adoption.
The public might not be as familiar with this myth as they are with some of the others we've covered. We need to look at what is meant by adoption risk first. Some people think it's unsafe to adopt a pit bull from a dog rescue center or an animal shelter because so many of these dogs don't have a clear past. People are persuaded to think that adopting a pit bull from a respected breeder, where they can meet the breeders, view the surroundings, and even meet the parents, is safer. The reality is that every dog, regardless of breed, should be thoroughly assessed as an individual and not be judged according to a stereotype of their breed. In some circumstances, a dog's upbringing, genetics, and past experiences have a detrimental impact on them, which may cause them to view people negatively. Even if they may have been mistreated in the past, the majority of dogs that are brought into shelters or rescue centers still show people loyalty and love. All dogs are loyal and loving at their heart. Because the majority of them vet the dogs when they are brought in, adopting a pit bull from an animal shelter or rescue organization is generally not risky. The dogs that can be adopted are then separated from those who will have trouble finding new homes. Then, the adoptable dogs are classified as such, and the unadoptable dogs are either put down or given a behavioral rehabilitation program to help them change. But getting a dog through a reputable breeder is always a good idea. A puppy with a clear background and one that should give you peace of mind may be found if you are able to see the breeders, the puppies, and the parents and evaluate their living conditions. Adopting a dog with a potentially traumatic past and being prepared to love him regardless of it needs a remarkable person.
5. Pitbull puppy adoption is better than adult pitbull adoption.
I'm sure you're wondering how this could possibly be a myth. Why aren't puppies a better option? The solution is straightforward, I guess. Puppyhood is short-lived. Once they reach adulthood, they cease to be the cute, exuberant bundle of energy you once welcomed home. They become really big, musculoskeletal, and intimidating-looking adult canines as they get older. However, as a puppy ages, other things besides just size also alter. Additionally, they develop their personalities. You determine your dog's dominance or submission level toward people. You discover whether he tends to allow other dogs into his domain or whether he will defend it at all costs. In general, puppies are affectionate, playful, and welcoming of everyone and everything. These characteristics might change as he gets older. As an adult, he might turn out to be wary of some people or animals or even violent against them. Your puppy's chances of experiencing this are much diminished if he is properly socialized, trained, and nurtured with those people and animals. Early on is the best time to start socialization and training. Your puppy will probably grow up to be a well-behaved adult dog if it does. On the other side, some puppies are unyielding and will resist these commands. Because Pitbull is already an adult and has a clear sense of who he wants to be, adopting an adult is a much more foreseeable choice. Potentially gone is the element of surprise. It is important to note, too, that problems can also arise in older dogs. If their background was exceptionally abusive, they might not be able to move past it, which could explain why they experience anxiety or have trust issues. Therapy can often be of great assistance in these situations. Except in cases where the dog has been deemed child or animal friendly, adult dogs often do better when placed into homes without children or other pets since they might feel threatened by or violent against them. Choosing to adopt a Pitbull adult or a Pitbull puppy is typically a matter of desire and understanding what your lifestyle can support. If you want to give an adult dog a second shot at finding a forever home and you enjoy the notion of knowing what kind of dog you are bringing home, then an adult dog might be the best option for you. Adopting a puppy might be the smart move if you have the time and energy to raise him and try to help him develop into the adult dog you imagine. Ultimately, only you can be certain.
Pitbulls will ultimately turn against their owners.
This story, which is utterly absurd, was undoubtedly established by someone who had no knowledge of dogs in general. Consequently, it is easy to explain both why this is a myth and what the reality is. All dogs, even pit bulls, have an inherent predisposition to love and loyalty. The key factor in dog adoptions is because of these traits in dogs. When you adopt a dog, you are bringing home a furry friend who you will have for the rest of his life, which is why dogs are known as man's best friend. A dog's owner may experience acute dog aggression from their pet. These dogs don't decide one day that they don't like their owner and that they're going to attack him or her. No, their hostility against their owners frequently stems from carelessness, mistreatment, neglect, or a failure to recognize the warning indications. When a dog has a disease that manifests as impulsive aggression due to their heredity, this can also be attributed to flawed genetics in the dog.
7. Mixed pit bulls are less aggressive than purebred pit bulls.
Typically, a dog's breed has very little bearing on the level of hostility that animal exhibits. A certain amount of tolerance towards people and other animals will be shown by every dog. While some dogs will be more understanding than others, this is not a result of their breed. Environmental influences, upbringing, amount of instruction, home care, and socializing, as well as heredity, are the main causes of low tolerance or aggression. These elements result in dogs of all breeds, including mixed-breed dogs.
Pit bulls should not interact with children.
The nanny of all dog breeds, pit bulls were formerly dubbed. This is due to the fact that they are innately loving, playful, devoted, and protective. In contrast to how they are portrayed today, were not historically viewed as vicious combat dogs. They were regarded as the ideal family pet and friend back then. Pit bulls that have been properly socialized and taught are unquestionably safe around young people. They enjoy playing, and their strong bodies give them the rough exterior that a dog needs to keep up with boisterous kids. The fact that no dog, regardless of breed, should be left alone with young children cannot be stressed enough. Because they have not yet mastered the notion of boundaries, young children might not understand that pulling the dog's tail